The heat of the desert is where the Sun Devils thrive. Welcome to Tempe, Arizona, Mountain America Stadium, home to the Arizona State. And the rich legacy formed by the likes of Frank Bush, Jake the Snake, and Pat Tillman. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So the Nebraska Cornhuskers offense takes the field. And here he comes, a man who epitomizes the phrase, the tight end's always open, David.
And yes, he is, Reese. And it's so cool. The tight end position now has evolved so much. You can move him all over the field, and you can really highlight a guy of his ability.
Too big for safeties to cover and too fast for linebackers to cover. This is a weapon they've got to take advantage of.
And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Complete in the middle. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Give to the back. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. They'll try to move the chains on this 3rd and long from the 50. From the gun, wants to pass. And the incomplete pass on 3rd down, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's about.
That's just a mental error. On defense, you got to watch the ball. I understand the quarterback shouting and he's clapping and there's all this crowd noise, but you just got to hone in, watch the football before you come out of your stance.
That penalty puts the defense in a bind. It'll be 3rd and 1. Nice job to pick up the 1st down, and they'll spot it at the 42.
Tackle is made at the 42-yard line. Good enough for a 1st down.
The Huskers are moving quickly down the field. To the ground with the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Now the 8th play of the opening drive, but this time facing 3rd and long. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start.
False start offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Now the 8th play of the opening drive, but this time facing 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the 1st down marker. This offense has moved into plus territory, and they want to keep the heat on. They'll go for it on 4th down. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down.
Encroachment. Defense.
Defense just a little too eager, and that's 5 yards for the Oak. This offense wants to establish an aggressive identity. They'll go for it on 4th down. Finds his man enough for the first. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
Knocked off his feet, but not before he picks up 6 yards down to the 10. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Touchdown, Huskers! What a grab and go for the score.
And I think a lot of people probably expected to see that, right? They're playing on the road, and you know this is going to be a hostile environment, but they've got the better players, and we've seen that before. Hesitation. Opening drive, they go right down the field, they score a touchdown, and they made a statement.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Arizona State's offense will go to work for the first time. As we take a look at our impact players for this one, what are you looking for, Jesse, for a guy to make an impact?
Well, these are simply put the leaders of this football team, and generally games go how these guys play. If they make plays, then they've got a shot to win this one.
No doubt, they got to show up. These are the team leaders. These guys have to play well if they're going to win the football game.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. Crosses the 30. He's got a lay. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. You had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
9-yard pickup on 1st down, and now they can take a shot on 2nd and short. He's looking to throw. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense.
There's a very high standard and a high bar when you're playing defense at Nebraska. You always hear people talk about the black shirts. Well, this guy right here, he fits into that because of his speed. You saw on that blitz, they had no shot of blocking him. He's able to get home to the quarterback to come up with a massive sack.
And the Sun Devils will punt it away on 4th down. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Fields to punt and tries to help improve that field position. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
Now, these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
Out of the gun to give to the back. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. In their own territory, no problem. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. Calls his own number. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
And I like this. I like aggressiveness, especially early in ball games. Set the tone. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play four-down football. Nowadays, it makes a lot of sense. You see it with analytics. Go for it, even if it's in your own territory.
And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
I know the passing game sells, the passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards a pop on the ground, but it will be very successful.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Third down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
This is a top 25 offense in college football, and I like what they do. They can run the football on third downs when they need to. They show you right there. They've got some balance to them. They really know who they are. They have a good identity, and that's why they've been so successful this season.
And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible. And sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. I can throw it to them. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
And he was just a couple of steps away from taking that one even further after the catch.
How many first downs is that, guys? On this drive alone, this defense has got to find a way to get off the field. They're playing way too many snaps.
Mark it off as a 6-yard gain down to the 6-yard line. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. To give to the back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, the offense is trying to get physical. They're pulling the backside guard on that play. He completely whiffs, though, and misses his block, and as a result, it's a negative play.
Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards. The encroachment penalty on the D gives the offense a free 5 yards. Third down, and this crowd will blow out a vocal cord to help this defense. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
The whole point of running the quarterback on these designed runs is to get an extra blocker. You should be getting more movement up front, but that time, guys were getting knocked backwards, and as a result, they actually lost a yard.
It is good. And now the lead's extended a little further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Dynamite matchup today, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Stanford has the lead right now, but there's no John Elway on this team, and that's why we have a tight one there on the farm. They're up by a field goal over Akron. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. From the gun, the ground game. And a little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. The Sun Devils want to move quickly. They're going to ride this running back. Still on his feet at the 45. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Use the play fake, now to throw. And here's a fumble way behind the line. And they are fortunate to get the ball back, but unfortunate to have a long way to go after that loss. Second down after the offense recovered its own fumble. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be third down.
Obviously, when you're playing in weather like this, the ball is very slippery and it's hard to catch. The QB threw a bullet that time, and his receiver just could not reel it in.
The give to the back. Shakes off the tackler. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. And the Sun Devils will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, David.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
Pocket starts to collapse. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
We hear about shot plays all the time. Offensive coordinators love to take deep shots down the field. They plan them. They plan when they're going to do them, and I bet you we'll plan to see a few more throughout this game.
Caught behind the line. It's Washington. He goes down at the 47 after a 5-yard pickup. The offense will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Going for the big play. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
That's not an easy throw to hit, I will say. A dagger throw, it takes time to develop. You really got to sell the route. And the quarterback has got to put that in an area and anticipate the throw. Just not on the same page with his receiver on that.
Boy, that was a precision play all the way around. Throw, catch, tackle, bang, bang, bang. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Grab near the marker. It's Washington. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. He's looking to throw it. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. After the big first down sack, it's 2nd down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Cornhuskers decide to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. He'll bring it back. It's Harmon. They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. Arizona State has the ball back and the offense making its way onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here. We're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Looking deep down the right side. And the pass is intercepted. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Ball in the air, intercepted. Going the other way, and he's got room. He steps out of bounds, but not only does he get the ball back, what a return to set up his offense.
Man, that is how you get it done as a defense when you're playing cover one. Like, you got the middle of the field safety, but everybody else is manning up. Nice job running with this guy, seeing the football, breaking on it, making the interception.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Wants to throw on 2nd down. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. So close to that end zone, he could almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, who's got a better seat there today in Tempe than you do? And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on third down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those two stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top.
Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football, Palmer, out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that we can win this game.
They go to the ground. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. The Sun Devils will hustle to the line. Now the play fake. Complete. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Got 8 on 1st down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Just feeds the running back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the 1st down at the 34-yard line. And the Sun Devils come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Going up top on 1st down. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. 8th play of the drive coming up. They'll try to pop the draw. Pulled down at the 29 after getting 5.
I think one of the hardest things to do is stick to the run when it's not working. But it's those runs right there that are the reason why you have to do it, right? You can't get too one-dimensional. Keep slipping those runs in there. Keep getting a little bit of positive yards. Next thing you know, you'll look up and you might break one of those after you got them a little bit tired.
Got to give the defense credit on that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision time. 4th and short, and you're in field goal range. What do you do here?
The official says no good. The missed field goal leaves us with a double-digit game, still sitting at 10. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the 1st play.
No, it certainly can't.
And that pass intercepted. That's why you love veterans in this defense. They stay locked in on their rules, and he made the pick. Line gets set, 1st down. Here's the handoff. Trucks through the defender. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. That kind of pickup on 1st down, and you can take a shot here on 2nd and short. They move the tight end all over. Power football with the run. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the 1st down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the 1st down.
It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. He leaves it with the back. Bulls his way forward. They make the stop, but this running game moves the chains as they get the first down. The Sun Devils come to the line in the hurry-up. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And he'll be tackled, but there is a flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. First down here for the offense.
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider.
The give to the tailback. And into the end zone. And he's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the clock.
Offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. On first down, here comes this offense.
Get set.
Reads it, fires complete. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Tried to pound it on first down, now back to the line. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
I tell you what, they're down, but they're not out with this guy. They keep feeding him. He keeps having success on the ground. Maybe I use this now to catapult, use some play action, make some bigger plays down the field. But the run game has not been the problem.
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Sun Devils. Well, the offense shows some life here and cuts into the lead with that score.
And, man, they needed it. They had to have something to go right. Listen, still down, but this is a great start to getting back in this ballgame.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been at a premium, Jesse, and every possession seems like it could switch the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Reese, for this offense, just feels like they just haven't been as physical. And for this offensive coordinator, David, he's having to go deep into the playbook just to try to generate a first down.
Well, and the good thing is there's not a ton of game pressure because the other side's not scoring either. But if you can find that one thing, get that one positive play, and then maybe you get those juices going, then something can start to build.
On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. He's got an open man. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play. And I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
And
Running back.
played by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. And those guys, those running backs coming, they just need a mitt. They put one mitt on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
So the early contact for the defense, and they'll move it up 5 yards. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. And brought down, looks as if that's how we'll end the third. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor, both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. They'll keep the offense on the field on 4th down already with a 1-possession lead. A designed run for the quarterback. And they drag him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
Well, you were already 2 for 2, and now you're 3 for 3. So offensively, this is just a day that ends in Y. It's another day at the office, continuing to go for it on 4th down. And guess what? Continuing to have success.
Well, jet sweep pass. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. Trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, David. It puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. 3rd and long in field goal range. You're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man. Everybody on an island. Everybody won. They get the incompletion now setting up.
And it's intercepted. A huge 4th quarter play for this defense. Didn't get a chance to show off those return skills, but he gives his offense the ball at the 29. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. We'll see if this offensive line is ready for the blitz. From the gun, running back on the move. Still running at the 40. Oh, look out. At the 30. Running inside the 20. Ripping off a huge chunk of yardage, and he's got it just outside the 10 at the 11. They just changed the dynamic of this possession in a heartbeat, and now it's 1st and 10 from inside the red zone. He wants to throw. And this veteran quarterback just overshot his man that time.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense, or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught on the outside, it's Sampson.
You know, the tight end's going to have to do a better job of separating and giving his quarterback a place to go with the football. That time just couldn't create it, and as a result, as soon as he made the catch, he was brought to the ground, setting up 4th down.
That thing would have hit a string in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. All tied up here in the 4th quarter. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Washington State is getting dominated today. And friends, the folks in Pullman deserve better than this. No excuse ever for this kind of a clunker. They're trailing by 14 to Washington. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. They'll get the 1st down. It's spotted on the 49. They gobbled up a ton of yardage to open this drive, and now in business near midfield at the 49. Oh, he makes the catch. At the 40, there he goes. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The inside handoff. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. So he gets stuffed on 1st down, and now you have the offensive coordinator thinking a little bit.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to throw it now in this 2nd play. But what are we going to see defensively? Now that they know we're throwing, might they blitz us? Do I have to leave more guys in to block? There's a real cat-and-mouse game going on right now between these 2 coaching staffs.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. Huge play here late, and this crowd is coming to help the defense. Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the first down. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. Defense backed up in this crowd, trying to will them to get a big stop late. The give to the back. Knocked down after a pickup of 6, and they're trying to impose their will in the red zone. Ball's at the 13. The clock stops. 2 minutes left to play in this one. Operating in the red zone here on second down. They'll give it to the back. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
It's all tied up. This offensive line, they want the pressure. They want everything to go through them here. They're saying, look, let's just run the ball. Let's get this thing down closer and closer to the goal line. Let's bleed some clock and put ourselves in position to win.
They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be first and goal from there. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. They'll dial up the run on first and goal. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. If they can get it in here, we could have a thrilling end to this game. Touchdown, Cornhuskers!
Man, and how about this offense in crunch time, doing what they do, getting 6 on the board. Now I turn to my defense right now and say, boys, we need one more stop. Go out there and get me one more.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
17, Arizona State, 10.
On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Arizona State has the ball back, and the offense making its way onto the field. There's plenty of time to work with here, but they have to be highly efficient in their attack, Jesse.
So it comes down to the quarterback position too, Reese. Don't let the moment...
It's complete. A huge pickup. He's loose down the middle. Touchdown, Arizona State. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Man, great execution. That is how it's done late in the football game. Now, all you need is that extra point. Bring the kicker out there. This is what you do. Just like practice, knock it through the uprights, tie this football game, and we might be looking at overtime soon.
On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. All tied up, under a minute to play. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but...
Going up top. Oh, and it's picked off. This could be huge in a tie game. He's trying to take it back. They bring him down, but that great defensive play might be overturned. Let's see what the call is.
Yeah, and you see some people get upset with offsides in the defense. I call it the cost of doing business. It's just part of being great off the football. Sometimes you'll guess, and sometimes you'll be wrong. The first one is always on me, Coach, and the second one, usually he takes me out of the game.
And the DB making a huge play, knocking it away downfield.
And the defensive coordinator on that play was holding his breath because in the fourth quarter, you got one of the fastest players in the game going deep on you. And that's going to be a helmet sticker for somebody. Like forcing an incompletion against that guy, that's incredible.
Let me tell you, this senior quarterback can flat fit it in a tight window. Timeout is called, and the clock is down to 8. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. He's going to pass. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock. They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Defense.
Contact in the neutral zone leads to that penalty. Good news for the offense. Defense really hurt itself with that penalty. Now it's 2nd and 5. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And he's got it inside the 25. And he didn't squeeze it. It's loose. How about that alert play from the defense to corral that fumble? 4 quarters, not enough to settle this one. We're headed to overtime.
And these teams have played so well, back and forth, evenly contested game. How about a little free football, Jesse?
Yeah, I love this, David. Free football. I'm finding out which of these 2 teams is the most mature. Who can settle down now with the game on the line and make the big play.
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And it's so nice to be on defense first, to set the tone, to understand what you need. Try to hold them to a field goal. The offense knows they can do their job to go out and get a win. Just 2 possessions, Palmer, like you got to be at your best.
Yeah, and I love the new rules, too, because in the 3rd overtime possession, it goes to alternating 2-point plays. Back and forth. Who's got anything left in the tank here in OT?
We'll get it started here in overtime. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And just a great job by the defense being stout. Right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. If he runs this back, this game's over. And that will put a stamp on it. A game-deciding play as they seal it with a pick. Defense has its back against the wall as they try to extend this game and force another overtime. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He'll keep it himself. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. 3rd and long, and they don't want to move backwards to make sure they have a chance to kick an easy one and win it in OT. Quarterback on the keeper. Fighting off the defender. Picks up the first down. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Sprinting all the way. He'll take it to the house, but there is a flag on the field. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. 3rd and long now as this defense tries to force another overtime period. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. So here comes the field goal team, and they'll kick for the win. Right down the middle. The kick is good. A game winner in overtime. The drama built throughout this game, memorable plays, and then finally the gut-wrenching loss at the end in overtime.
This coaching staff is going to look back at the overtime, and they're going to wish they had called some different plays. They had some things set up, but ultimately, with games like this, they come down to the wire. You got to be able to dial up plays to win. I don't think this coaching staff did a great job.
And it's so frustrating to get to this point and make enough plays to be in the game, to come up short in overtime. I'd almost rather get blown out or this game is decided in regulation. Just very frustrating to lose a game, especially like this in OT.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.